And according to the CDC, about 25.7% of adults have a seasonal allergy. I am one of those. Many of you may have noticed that the familiar hazy yellow permeating throughout the Northwoods.
Which means it's springtime, y'all, and that means pine pollen. And here to tell us how we can navigate this time of year is Nurse Christina Paris from the VA. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so, I mean, we kind of mentioned it, but how common are just allergies in the U.S.?
So allergies, there are 1 in 3 adults and 1 in 4 children have seasonal allergies.
Right, so there's 3 of us on the couch. I know I'm one of the 3.
Yes. Yeah, I do too.
Oh.
I'm also learning.
Yeah.
So
well,
that
that's a lot more than 1 in 3 here.
Or at least like this year, typically I don't have seasonal allergies that bad, but this year I have been sneezing, runny nose, sore throat, and I know it's different than my cat allergies.
Right.
Because this is constant.
Right. And it is up here we have lots of trees, we have lots of pine forests, and so we see a lot of that. Pine trees, I was telling you all before the show that I looked up videos. Pine trees put off this huge yellow haze, and so you'll see it often like just floating across the road, and that's what bothers people. My grandson was up here, same thing. He's just a little toddler, but he was sneezing, eyes watering.
It's rough.
So it hits people, even those who don't have allergies.
Yeah.
So walk us through it. You talked about this big cloud, but what is pollen and how does it affect the body?
So when trees, they have little seeds and they send these seeds out that are covered in pollen, and anything that flowers, like plants, trees, grasses, weeds, although because we've been so dry, we don't have the grass pollen. It's at least not high right now. And because we're dry, we don't as much have the mold pollen that the mold that people would be allergic to also. So mostly trees.
Then what are some of the fairly common symptoms for everyone? I know we mentioned earlier a bit of sneezing, runny nose, sore throat, but there's more.
Yeah, yep. So you will. You'll have sneezing, stuffy nose, watery eyes. So you can get an allergic conjunctivitis. It really affects 30% of people. And so that will make your eyes really itchy and watery. Your sinuses, your throat, your ear canals might even feel congested, and you might think that there's a cold. Postnasal drip, headache, shortness of breath, wheezing, coughing. Now those are more extreme, and with people with asthma, and these pollen and these allergies can actually trigger an asthma attack for people who are susceptible. So they need to be extra cautious.
Yeah, I know back in my high school days and here at Tomahawk High, it was bad. The allergy season, it was really bad at the end of May, start of June. It was right around now. And that's right when we had golf, like regionals and sectionals. And it was a fun time. You had all your friends out there in nature, but it was the worst. I was dripping, my eyes burned, my throat hurt. It was a nightmare. Now thankfully I have some, allergy medicine, and that's something we can touch on now. How can you prevent? How can you prevent this and treat it?
So that's one thing. Like you said, there's over-the-counter medicines. There's Zyrtec, Flonase, fluticasone, some of those things. Some have to be prescribed by providers, but some can be given. Some people need allergy shots. And
those are really cool.
You want to start early. So before the season really kicks in, you want to kind of get that going and on board. And you want to stay throughout, until we know that a lot of this pollen is gone. And I thought, actually, that with the rain coming, I thought, oh, great, the pollen's going to go down. And I was reading, it said it actually disperses the pollen more.
Oh, great.
The rain
what we need.
opens up the seeds and disperses it more. But some of the things that you can do, is, of course, check your pollen forecast. I know Devin's been really good about letting people know when the air quality isn't so good. We have the fires and pollen, so a lot going on. Take your allergy medications as prescribed. Don't touch your eyes while you're outside. And make sure you wash your hands when you come back in. Get all that pollen off. Shower. If you've been doing a lot of stuff outside, a lot of boating, a lot of yard work, things like that, come inside and take a shower to get all that pollen off. Keep your windows closed and use high efficiency filters in your heaters. That will help as well. And then for those who are coming up, it's not really necessarily the pollen, but you're opening your cabin for the first time, all year. It's been closed up. So you want to make sure you're washing all your bedding in really hot water. Cover your bedding with those allergen-proof pillows. Get rid of any old carpeting, anything moldy or mildewy or old furniture, because that will help with any kind of allergies that you might have as well. Fix any water leaks, because when water sits, that can get moldy and cause a lot of mold kind of allergens. Clean off all your surfaces. Get into that cabin, wipe everything down, get rid of everything, get a dehumidifier to kind of dry it up. And those are all things that you can do so that you can enjoy your summers up here in the beautiful Northwoods and not be troubled.
Absolutely. It's important. Get on top of it. Get treated so you can enjoy everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, well, thank you so much for coming in, telling people what they can do inside and outside to kind of prevent all these insane allergies. So, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, coming up, we have what's trending, including this panda